Hello, everyone. This is Southern Belle Whisper. I hope you all are doing well today. It is very early outside today. I went to bed early last night. Got a little bit of I don't usually drink on my days off. Sometimes I'll drink, but had a nice little buzz going on last night. I was just like, yeah, I'm going to bed. I went to bed like 9:30, which is good. I didn't have to take no sleeping medicine or anything like that last night, which was nice for once. And I'll get to that. That is what I'm about to discuss in this video. If you guys will please be patient with me. So, got good sleep last night. Woke up early this morning, about 5, and I had this idea in my head yesterday, but I just didn't get the chance to make the video. And you guys know me, if I'm feeling inspired, I want to make a video right then and there, but I was really busy yesterday. So, anyways, what I want to discuss with you guys is I was going through my past videos on my channel, just trying to figure out what I can change, what I can improve with my channel. I'm sure all the best ASMR artists in this community do that all the time, probably. But I've started to realize that ever since last year, my videos have just gotten a little bit more serious and sometimes negative. And I know people that care about me are going to say, you don't have to explain, we're going to love you no matter what. But I feel like if someone watches this video that they might relate to it in some way. For the new subscribers, I'll just give a little synopsis of what happened to me last year and even the year before. In September 2021, my husband overdosed on opiates, and I had to save his life. I had to watch him as he was Narcaned 3 times, and that was horrible, going through that. And he's almost been clean off of opiates for almost 2 years now in September. So proud of him for that. And then, last year, okay, let me just start with my mom. I always had this connection with this house I lived in Virginia, where I grew up as a child. Always had this connection, always dreamed about it. I always just used to tell my mom, one day we're going to get back there to that house in Virginia. That house I grew up in, and literally had like the best memories of my life at that house. So I've always had this connection to it. And then almost 2 years ago, when it became available again, I pushed my mom. Her renters down here at the beach were raising the rent on her trailer that she'd lived at for like 10 years almost, and I pushed her to move to that house in Virginia. I pushed her. I was like, come on, I can get down there for Christmas. I always used to love how you decorate for Christmas. Oh, the snow, so many memories, la-di-da. That will go down as one of the worst regrets of my life. Because last year in October, my brother's estranged brother, I hadn't spoken to him in 6 years. Not my choice. If you want a video of me explaining why we were estranged from him, I think I made one, like right after it happened. It was the grieving video that I made where I went more into depth of why we were estranged from my brother. But last year in October, his ex-wife called me. She was posted on my timeline on Facebook, "Call me, please call me. It's about Joe." And so I called her, and I remember to this day, you know how you have those core memories. I called her. I was dressed for work. It was around 5:30, and I was supposed to be at work at 6:45. 20-minute drive, give or take. It depends on the traffic here at the beach. But I called her on Facebook, and she said, "Kelly, I really don't know how they knew to call me, because they'd been like separated, divorced for like 8 years. Like, my brother was remarried and everything, and they called her. They said that she was an emergency contact." And I thank God for that now, because if it hadn't been for that, because I still had her on my Facebook as a friend on Facebook, and I thank God for that right now, because if she had not been my friend on Facebook, I would have not known that my brother had passed away. But I called her, and she was like, "Joe's been in an accident, Kelly." And I thought I was going to ask her, what hospital is he in? Was he hurt? How hurt was he? I think I was in total shock, so I think I asked her, "Is he hurt?" And she said, "Kelly, Joe died in an accident, a car accident, yesterday." And God, I don't know, me and my mom keep going back and forth. I think it happened, it did, it happened at 1 o'clock, and she called me at 5:30, right before I went to work, and told me that he had been, my brother was a truck driver, semi-truck driver. It took most of his life to figure out what he wanted to do with his life, and I'm so proud of him for that, because he always liked those big semi-trucks. I've always been afraid of them for some reason, but he was driving from Lake Wiley, South Carolina. Sorry for the dogs barking. Hopefully the new microphone will drown that out, but he was driving from Lake Wiley to Alabama, and he had a heart attack, and he wrecked his truck. And I will never know if it was the heart attack that killed him or the wreck. It doesn't matter now, but from what I heard, he was still, from from what the coroner told me, or told my niece, was he had already gone unconscious when he had the heart attack. But he was technically still alive for an hour at the hospital after it happened. Technically still alive, but unconscious. And I hate to be negative on this channel, and I know I'll probably lose a lot of subscribers, but I do not care. So I went through that with my brother. Then, and all this while I still had to go to work, by the way. I couldn't call out. You have to give 4 hours notice before you call out of work at my work, or you're in some serious trouble. So I could not call out and I'm trying to get in touch with my mom, calling her over and over and over, and the saddest part about that was she was on her way back with her family, her brothers and sisters, from her brother-in-law's, who she was really close to, his funeral. So I had to call her on the phone and tell her that her son was gone. And you guys, I cannot tell you the scream that I heard coming from her body over the phone. I think it did something to my brain. I think I'm dealing with some PTSD because I've never heard a scream like that before. Not in real life. I've heard it in the movies and stuff like that, but it is nothing compared to real life. And I've never had to go through that before. With my husband, with a few of his friends, yes, I've seen him cry and sob, but the scream that came from my mother was earth-shattering, heartbreaking, and I couldn't be there to hug her. So we went through a really tough time in that month, and then my dog, my beloved Bichon, we had to put her to sleep day before Thanksgiving, a month after I lost my brother. The day before Thanksgiving, and that was hard. I never put an animal to sleep before. And that was really hard because I have no children. My pets are my children, for now at least. And I love that dog so much. Even though I knew it was time, it was still hard. And it just, and I took her to the worst vet office in town because it was the cheapest vet. And I regret that now because the way they treated her was, I'm not even going to name the place, because just in case they see this video, you never know, but the way they treated her was horrible. And so went through that. And then my mom was sick for months. She had 2 strokes. She was in and out of the hospital for months during Christmas and after Christmas. She's just now feeling stronger and getting healthier every single day. Mama, I'm so proud of you. I'm so freaking grateful. I can't even describe to you guys. I'm so grateful. I prayed so hard. You know, God tells us, He says, have faith. Even if it's no bigger than a mustard seed. I just want to explain to you guys, I'll never do this, okay? But I'm not saying, I'm not calling this person that I'm about to talk about weak, okay? But I've always been closer to my mom's side of the family. I've got like numerous cousins on my mom's side of the family that if I messaged them right now, they would message me in a heartbeat. And I grew up with 2 first cousins. They were brother and sister. It was my Aunt Letha's kids, her only kids, her daughter and her son. And they were my first cousins. Their names were Stephanie and Matthew. In 2012, my cousin Stephanie was only 27 years old when she was in a car accident that killed her. And of course my aunt was heartbroken. It was her only daughter and she was really young. And it was hard for all of us. It was hard for me too because I loved her so much. And then in I think it was maybe 2017, 2018. It's weird because it happened during Hurricane Matthew. Um, and I had to stay at the hospital where I worked because I was on the team where I had to stay during the hurricane. And my mom called me and said that my cousin Matthew had committed suicide. And back then when it happened, I was like, oh man, how could he do this to his mother? My Aunt Letha has lost both her kids now in tragic ways. It just proves to me that I obviously hadn't been through something like that before, of losing a sibling, because I get it. I totally get it. I get it. I do. I understand. I do. I would never do that though, because I could not hurt my family and the people that I love like that. I just couldn't do it. But just some days I had bad days, really bad days. But some days I have good days, and some days are just in between, where I can wake up feeling bad, but end up feeling good. You know what I mean? I am dealing with a lot of internal struggles. I miss my mama. I wish she still lived here. I mean, she lived right down the road from me when she lived here. I could have gone and visited her anytime I wanted to. And I miss her so much. I miss her being down here, but I'm grateful that my niece Selena is still here. But I've been working a lot, and we haven't been able to hang out in a while. But we're supposed to go see Barbie at the end of the month, some point, hopefully. If we're, she works day shift and I work night shift, so we're trying to find a day where we're both off so we can go see it. But I'm grateful that she's down here with me, because that's just a part of my brother that I'm always going to have. I've always had a close relationship with my niece, and I thank God for that, because she looks just like him, and it's like a mini me and my brother. I just, for the people that are dealing with anxiety, PTSD, depression, just know that I'm here for you. Leave a comment down below if YouTube lets me have comments. Leave a comment down below. I would love to know your story. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I love videos where I can go read people's stories of what they go through. So sometimes when I'm feeling alone, even though I'm surrounded by people that love me, I'll go to a video where, somebody has gone through the same things that I have, and I'll read the comments of stories of people that have gone through the same thing. And a lot of people keep asking me at work, like, I'm very, if I'm going through a rough time, I'm very talkative. Usually I'm just in my book at work, but sometimes I'm very talkative, and they're like, why don't you go to therapy? I don't like therapy. That's why I don't like therapy. Ever since I was 15, and me and my twin brother, I have 5 brothers. I have twin brothers that are 5 years older than me, and we all shared the same therapist. And I told the therapist a story of something that happened with me and my brothers, not like anything bad, but it was something that, it was one of those core memories that traumatized me, that I could remember vividly. I can't remember many memories of when I was really young, but that was one of the core memories. Okay, fine, I'll just tell you guys. I was 5, my brothers were 10, and my dad would go to work, my mom and dad would go to work, and they would just, you know how siblings are, you know, picking on each other, and they were around that age to where they loved to pick on me, but this one went a little bit too far. They brought me a cup of what they said was lemonade. I said, why is it, you know, I could feel it through the cup. It was one of those plastic cups. And I could feel it through the cup that was warm. And I said, why is it warm? And they go, oh, well, Dad just made it before he left for work, and it hasn't gotten cold yet. And we don't have any ice cubes. So I took a drink of it, and it wasn't lemonade. It wasn't lemonade. I'm sure you guys can guess what it was. I don't even have to say it, and I don't want to gross people out, but I remember just racing to the bathroom, knowing that that was not lemonade. Was not lemonade. And I remember the howling with laughter. They just thought it was the funniest thing. But I told my therapist that story, and she went behind my back and told my brothers that story. She said, is it true that you did this to her? When I always heard that therapists are supposed to be confidential. So I've never gone to a therapist since, and I do not plan on going to a therapist. That's why I have this channel, because, you know, if I feel like talking to somebody, I can talk to you guys. I don't need a therapist to talk to. I have people that I love. I have my mom, I have my niece, I have my husband, I have, you know, you guys. So, just know that if you're struggling, just hold on, man. Because I can't explain to you the hurt that it would cause your loved ones if you gave up on yourself. Because I've seen someone hurt. I've seen my mama hurt. And she is like one of the number one people in my life, if not the number one person in my life. I'm sorry to my husband, but that is my number one. That is my numero uno forever. And I've seen her hurt, and it was hard. And just know that I'm here for you. If you want to talk, leave a comment, please do. I'm not trying to be a therapist to you guys. I just want to explain. This was just a video to explain to you guys why my videos have been a little bit different recently. That's why I've been uploading more videos lately, because I feel comfortable with you guys, and it takes my mind off of racing thoughts. So, I'm just going to name this my PTSD story, because that is something that I think I struggle with. I have a hard time sleeping. I usually take sleeping pills to go to sleep. And then sometimes, like last night, I woke up numerous times sleepwalking. And just, you know, memories racing through my mind sometimes. But I just want to tell you guys I love you. Thank you for being here for me, and I hope you're still here once you watch this video, because it's probably not going to be too relaxing. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much for everything. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.